Right, here we are. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to episode 16, I think it is, of Non-League to Premier League. We are York. It was supposed to be the FA Trophy today. I did record it, but I had you on this screen all the way through. I didn't transition my screens over, so it had me talking. We won it. That was okay. But you now find us at the end of August, Season 4. We've started off the season. I think we've played 6 games. We've spent a lot of money. We have gone proper Salford this year to try and get us into the Football League. We were favourites. I'll explain why we made the decision to spend big. Let's get into it.
I'm the chap with the red scarf on, going around singing we are York. We're City, play pretty, that is our style of football. How charming, just like the Minster, a pint of bitter and a slice from Ginster. Walking the walk, talking the talk, and singing we are York. Climbing up the old Division 4.
Here we are, welcome back. As you can see, we are top of the league. We did lose, I think it was the second game of the season, home against Bromley. They've only scored 6 goals, only conceded 2. But we've started already. The last few games has been really good. We went big. Reasons, because we were made favourites for the league. Now, the board only wanted playoffs, but I was going to go with youth and keep the wage bill low, but about halfway through pre-season, I thought, sod it. There was all these players that were coming in, players that we looked at and now had been released. So our wage bill is whopping. We'll do that. I'll show you that in a minute. I've just managed to get 4 players out on loan, some youngsters and some guys that weren't needed and couldn't sell. So hopefully that'll just tighten it up a little bit for us. I couldn't get the big boys off the wage budget. We've spent big, very big. Let's get into the transfers. So, released players. Deshaun Bernard, who's got himself in the Football League at Walsall. He was wanting, this is a Football Manager bollocks. He was wanting over £2,000 for us in the Vanarama National. He's now in Sky Bet League 2 with Ian Holloway, but he's on £575 a week. Pochettino contracted at Yeovil. He didn't even want to know. I don't know if I'd have. To be fair, I would have done. I would have offered him a new deal, but he wanted to go, so we let him go. It has allowed me to give Azagard a little bit more playing time. David Ferguson, I am finding it really hard. As you'll probably notice, I have changed the thumbnail. Alex Kempster's retired at the age of 25. Couldn't get a club after we released him a couple of years ago. I tried to get him back. Didn't want to know. So he's been retired. I imagine David Ferguson will be the same, which is absolute bullshit because he could easily get into a Vanarama North or South side. James Ball, the captain, once again, been released. He wanted too much. He also got a bad injury. He was out for 4 months at the end of the season. So we decided not to renew it. He'd had a poorer season. He's probably Vanarama National League North. He's probably his level. But, once again, not even wanted. He will probably disappear off the face of the earth. This is the one thing that, this isn't an extended database or anything. This is one thing that Football Manager need to get sorted. Is the amount of players that, down at the bottom end, kind of drift out of the game and it isn't realistic at all. Kai Ventura, another one, youngster. I think we played him a little bit in Season 1. He wasn't good enough. Physical's pretty good, but that was about it. Dan Maguire, not found a club. Striker, look at that for Vanarama North side. He's only 29. He would have done a job. Another one not been used. Peter Jameson, another one not been used. Absolute bullshit. But he just wanted too much money for us. We've got another keeper in that's better, younger. I didn't want to renew contracts with people that were just asking way too much. I did think about keeping him as my number 2, and I thought, no, I want to make sure, because I have got a youngster that I want to give a few games to, so it didn't make sense trying to get him at, I think, over £1,000 a week. Our new keeper as well is pretty decent. So that is the players gone. I think he's a youngster. Right, let's have a little look at the ins. There's a lot. Right, so we've got 7 in. First one, we've only got one loanee. Clinton Molo on loan from Palace. Sort of like a ball when we are playing him more as a centre-back, no-nonsense centre-half. Got a decent amount of pace, tall. Heading's not great, marking's not great, tackling's not great, but so far he's played pretty well. Bit of a backup, Hobson and a new signing that I've made, and my main two. Creswell is now out on loan, and we've got Newton, who's still at the club as well. I renewed his contract, so we've got options. Paul Columban is also in the squad, but he can do a job. Very handy to have on the bench. I think we're paying his full wages as well. Are we paying his full wages? Yes, we are. Big money, big outlay, but very useful for us, and he started pretty well. Here he is, the new thumbnail. He wanted a lot, but it's Matty Blair, and if you know anything about York City, or if you're a Luton Town fan, you will know who Matty Blair is. Scored the goal to get us back into the Football League. Down here, look, 10 goals that season, including the winner in the final, which was offside against Luton. He wanted a bit. He's 33, but he can do a job for us, only down that right-hand side. We had Hosanna and then Nathan Dyer, who's not good enough. I couldn't say no. It meant because Kempster retired, we needed a new thumbnail. And I thought, well, the opportunity to get Matty Blair back. His physicals and that are pretty good for a 33-year-old. 3.5 star. He's on a 2-year deal, so after them 2 years, we'll definitely release him. Maybe even put him in the coaching staff. So Matty Blair is back. If you are a York City fan, surely you'll be happy with that. Our new number 1 is Sam Howes, signing 26k from Woking. He'd had a decent couple of seasons. The main reason I got him was his attributes for goalkeeping were pretty good. Better than Jameson's. 12s and 13s, 11s and 12s all across the board, so very, very useful. Not bad pace as well if he's rushing off his line. He has started pretty well for us, 26 grand. Also, 1.2 a week. That's a lot less than what Jameson was wanting. 24 years old, 6'3". I don't honestly think having an amazing keeper makes that much difference. I thought, right, I'm just going to try someone who's a little bit basic. We did nearly get a Crystal Palace loanee in, but it was going to be 3 grand a week. So we went for Sam Howes, and I'm very happy with him so far. Right, a big one who struggled. Zimbabwean international Admiral Muskwi. Whatever. We'll go with Muskwi. We actually looked at him last summer when he was at Leicester, and in the end we didn't do a deal, and then in the end we actually went for Mampala. Pressing forward was what I went for. He hasn't really impressed, unfortunately. He's had two league games, not really impressed. I took him out, put I put Connor Carty in. He didn't impress. We've gone back to Ched Evans. Ched Evans is now leading the line brilliantly, but 3.5 star, 2.5 grand a week. A lot of money at this level, a lot of money, but we could afford it. So we went for it on the hope that he would turn into something amazing. And I thought him and Mampala up front would have been a lethal duo. Bit of pace, big, strong, and can finish. But it hasn't turned out. We're going to be patient with him though. I've got him on the bench. Ched Evans doesn't, around 60-70 minutes, he needs to come off. And I thought he might be a bit of an impact sub. Hopefully he will develop and get his opportunity over the season. Right, 3 players that we've paid a bit of money for. George Glendon. Now, he was sort of like the upgrade on James Ball. 27 years old. We looked at him last season, but he wanted too much money when we had the budget a little bit lower. He's on 2,300 a week, but he can do all sorts of positions for us. He's just banged in 2 free kicks in the last 2 games. Very happy with that. We got him from Chester as well. He's a decent season. Look, 11 assists last season, 8 assists, 7 assists. So pretty good in the middle of the park. We got him for 38.5k, which, bearing in mind our transfer budget was over 700k. I think is a very good deal. And I think he's already our vice captain. Right, Charlie Oliver. This was recommended in the press, saying that we were interested in him. I had no interest in him, didn't even know who he was. And then I looked at him and thought, yeah, he can do a job. 6'1", bit of pace, composure, concentration, all okay. 12 for my 3-1s, my heading, my marking and my tackling. He started very, very well. We paid 55k from Walsall, ex-Manchester City youngster. Very happy. He's made a really good start for us. I think the main one I was looking for was pace. Now, I am playing in the public beta, so the game hopefully has nullified the 1v1s, which it has. I've seen probably a 90% reduction in 1v1s. But I got him in anyway to help with the the pace of balls over the top, and he started really well. And the big one, £140,000. I'm starting to regret it a little bit, but I haven't found a position for him yet. Now, he was at Sheffield. He was ex-Man United. That's where I knew him from. He was at Sheffield United as well. He played a couple of years just in the reserves. We've plumped for him mainly because I've changed it. I've changed him to Carrilero. So our first game today against Swindon, it'll be his first opportunity to play in his natural position, but I think he'll do okay. But first touch 15, passing 12, tackling 15, technique 13, work rate, vision, teamwork 14, 15 and 12, flair 12, concentration, stamina, pace, natural fitness, all pretty good. 5-star potential. He is a Football League player, and we've been very lucky to get him. Now, I did miss out on a player who ended up going to Italy, to Vicenza, who was a little bit better, but a little bit older. I think he was about 25, 26. He was on transfer listed from Leyton Orient. But I'm very happy that I've got him. I just hope he turns in. Him and Glendon, so far, have done all right, but he just doesn't have the attributes. Sorry, it just doesn't have the ratings. You won't see this here, but it's 6.87 rating so far. But I think he's only 21. He's got plenty of time to develop. We've got him in his Carrilero role today, so hopefully that will see us get the best out of him. And that is it. On the outs, Terrell Whitaker, ex-striker, leading goal scorer last year, 9 goals. He went off the boil. He's done very well so far in the National League, but I think we've upgraded with the strikers we've got. Remember, we've got Mampala, Ched Evans, Abri, Czech Diaby, though, is another one. Striker that got us into the Vanarama National League. Didn't even score for us last season. Scored in the Cup, but not in the league. He's gone. Once again, we've got upgrades on them both. I'm quite happy to see them go. And then 3 loanies, which have pretty much just been announced. Abri, let him go out on loan again. We did luckily enough to get him sign a new contract. He's just probably 5th choice, and I was putting him on the bench ahead of Muswaka, or whatever he's called, Admiral. We'll go with Admiral. Unfortunately, I just thought, right, I don't want him a season on the bench. He was quite happy to go out on loan. We let anyone put a bid in. We didn't offer any money out. And he has gone. Next one's gone. Charlie Creswell, 4th choice centre-half. He wasn't listed for loan, but South Shields came in, wanted to pay his full wages. I thought, yeah, he can go out on loan for a season. He's kind of been with us since the start and only played 16 league games and 24 in all competitions over 2 years. So he needs a loan spell away. Hopefully he'll get plenty of games for them. And Reece York, a player that we just can't get rid of. He's been transfer listed for well over a year. Loads of clubs wanted him, but not actually putting in a bid. So I thought, right, I'm just going to offer him out on loan and see if that works. And luckily enough for us, South Shields came in for him again and paid all of his wages. Now, we still have a pretty big squad. We've not been able to get rid of Nathan Dyer's out, hopefully trying to get a loan deal. Can't get anything out of him. Habringham, we decided to sell, but no one wanted him. He's on too much money. He's got a year left on his deal. We'll just have him sitting with us for the season. That's a lot of money, though. It's over 100,000, isn't it? A lot of money to be sat doing nothing. But you never know if a Beta gets injured, who's our star left back. He is quite clearly an awesome replacement. He was really good for us last year, was Habringham. And also, we've got a load of internationals, which I'll show you in a minute. And they've all gone on international duty. Now, lucky for us, we've been able to postpone the next game against Dagenham and Redbridge. So, we might not have the issue of losing loads of players for international duty and having to play without them. Other players in the squad, we've still got Alex Denny, a very good midfielder who can do the Carrilero role and stuff for us as well. He had a very good end to the season. Bowden's still in there. George Boyd's on the coaching staff. He's got a year left. He'll be retiring. So there's another one we can get off the budget. The idea is that we get out of this division this season. We've taken a risk. If we don't get promoted this year, the budget will have to be significantly reduced. Connor Parsons, he's been transfer listed for 6-7 months. Teams want him. I might just offer him out on loan and see if we can get anyone to take him on loan. I don't care if he plays football. That may work. One of the brighter sparks is this guy called Cameron Harkins. Youth team player. We signed him sort of like he was last year's intake, 5-star potential, already at 2-star. He's a left winger, but we're training him to be an inverted winger. I just thought, we've already got Sinclair who can play out there. Azagard can play out there. Azagard can already play on the right. I thought, right, we'll just get Cameron Harkins in. He can be a backup for Sinclair. Looks like he's going to be a quality player. It's important. York City have always had a decent couple of youngsters coming through every so often. Hopefully he can be the next one for us. And there we go. So we are first in the league. We did a decent pre-season. We didn't play much. We did beat Lincoln, which was good. We started really well. A very, very convincing win over Dover. And then, I played this a while ago. I can't think if we played really well and we just couldn't score. Yeah, 21 shots on goal. 1 clear cut, 2 only, 2 half chances. 4 long shots. It weren't as if they were all from range, but they kind of hit us twice. And I think their second goal was really late on. Then we've responded pretty well. 2-1, 4-1, 4-1, 2-0 over Halifax. And today it is Swindon. Star performers so far, we are looking at George Glendon, Clinton Molo, who's only played 1. Ched Evans has got himself, after not starting the season, has got himself 4 games in 5 appearances. Mampala didn't score in the first 3, but has now scored 4 in 3. Matty Blair's made a good start, 3 games. Hobson's made a good start. Charlie Ovila centre-half as well. So we're looking pretty good. Right, this is the tactic that we are rocking with. As I said, Galbraith is now as a Carolero on support. Hopefully that's going to be useful. Hobson, I think we're pretty much at full strength. Ramazani can come back in. I did rest him the last game. He always struggles with his injuries. Hopefully he can get a run out today. We've got Admiral on the bench. He will come on for Evans. We did want to go with Connor Carty, but he scored 1 goal in the appearances that he's done, and he just hasn't done much. And then when it's hard, when Ched Evans comes on and plays really well, we've got to stick with Ched for now. Right, before we get into the game, the finances are looking like this. I think we're going to make a massive loss this year. We were making a £300,000 loss last year, but then the chairman, as he does in real life, balances the books by chucking his own money in. So he chucked in 360 odd grand to make sure we broke even. Well, we lost 40k, but at the time that made us break even for the year. Unfortunately, Ben Godfrey, wherever he is, where do I need to go? Didn't go anywhere. He's still rated at 24.5 mil. Not wanted again. Gutted. We were hoping for a big deal. I must be the only saver where he's not actually moved on, which is a little bit annoying, but never mind. And that leaves us ready to take on Swindon, who have found it hard. I thought they'd be well up there. They got relegated last year along with Fylde. Fylde have kind of recovered quite well, but Swindon are finding it tough. This is the bit that you're going to be horrified by. Obviously, we spent loads of money. Our wage bill is 2.3 million. Double of anyone outside the top 10. So a little bit more than Notts. Well, no, 330,000 more than Notts County. I think if we cleared the squad, if I managed to get rid of the players that I wanted to get rid of, that would probably be reduced right down to under 2 million. So we would be about there. But a very, very big budget. What the budget's like in Sky. Look, and even for League 2, look, the budgets. So I think if you get into the Football League, you've got a real chance of quickly progressing out of League 2. I think out of all the divisions to progress through, I would probably say League 2 is probably, barring the Conference North that we struggled in, I think League 2 may be the one that we might be able to keep going up. Right. Anyway, let's get a bloody win today before we start thinking about winning fucking League 2. Steve Cotterill, shithouse, is in charge. Are we happy? Yeah, we are happy. We've been clinical as well with our chances. We've scored some brilliant goals. Mampala's been setting up Ched Evans as well with some beautiful crosses. Hopefully, we can put a performance on for you guys. We did, as I said, we won the F. Glendon. Ooh, free kick. We did win Kingstonian. It was quite comfortable. Sinclair's in. What a start. 90 seconds in. Mampala, my main striker, has assisted Isaac Sinclair. We are 1-0 up. But what I was saying was, I think we beat Kingstonian about 4-0. We didn't make as much off it. But retaining the FA Trophy was pretty impressive. Right, here we go again. Dream start for us. Galbraith lost out, but he's managed to win it back. Obita. Glendon. It's good from range. Oh, he's found Matty Blair. Lovely. Matty Blair. Be great for him to get a goal. Sir Matt. Right, Donahue. Block. Hill. Ramazani's volleyed it clear. Mampala's plucked it out the sky beautifully. And now he's going for a run himself. He's going all the way. Mampala, good save from the goalkeeper. What a fantastic start to the game, though, for us. So let me know, by the way, what do you think to the signings below? How do you play it? I've decided to go shit or bust this year. I do wanted to make sure that I kept the finances nice and tight. We have got that little backup of Ben Godfrey, but I'm really wanting to use that in around the sort of like the championship level. That may just Sinclair, what a save from the goalkeeper. That may just help us bring in a couple of players, or maybe even around League One we may look at using it. I don't want to have to use it to balance the books. We could do with a cut run this year. We could really do with a big cut run. We did get to the third round last year, but it would be good to draw one of the big boys. That would definitely cover our wage losses. Right, Galbraith, Evans. He slipped in Sinclair, who's fired it in. Not even half an hour gone. Swindon Town 0, York City 2. And at the moment, guys, we are flying. Right, Matty Blair's added it down to Ramazani. Are they going to get it back? Yes, they are. Can we win it? Galbraith's done well. He's done really well. He's driving forward. He's clipped a lovely ball. There's his vision. I think he's on 15 vision. Mampala maybe should have scored. It was a one-on-one. It wasn't the worst finish in the world. Let's just... We're going to ask for demand more. So yeah, I bought the league. We're buying the league this year. That's the plan. We don't want to go through the old playoffs. We want to win the bloody league. Yeovil have started pretty well though. I think it was only their first defeat last week. And they're in here. Woolery. And he shanked it well wide. Well wide. Right, half time. Obita's picked up a knock, so we'll monitor it. We have got Newton on the bench. Solid Newton. Absolute garbage look, but I love Sean Newton in real life. And I'm a big fan of Sean Newton. Can play 3 or 4 different positions for us comfortably, so very useful in that Vanarama League when you only get 2 subs. We signed him another deal. We'll probably sign him another deal as well. We want to keep a few of the boys there as long as we can. We've kind of let go a few. Jordan Burrows, I look at getting back, but he'd retired as well at the end of the season. He'd scored 22 goals for us in the first year. We released him because we couldn't afford his wages. He wanted way too much. And then he basically never found another club, which was disappointing. So that's something for Football Manager to sort out. Right, we're going to pause it. Let's get Sean on. Let's go with the 2 young lads up front. Let's get Connor on as a pressing forward. And Admiral, we'll call him the Admiral. I don't like to give stupid nicknames, but there's no chance of me pronouncing that all the time. Right, Glendon. Lovely delivery. Was that Oliver? It was Oliver. Charlie Oliver. Brilliant header. Beautiful delivery from Glendon. Swindon Town 0. York City 3. Brilliant header back across goal. We are absolutely coasting at the moment. And there we have it. 3-0. What a performance. Did Swindon have much? I think they just maybe had that shank, did they? Did they just have that shank that went wide? I think that might have only been it. Right, guys, so that is it. Only one game today. I'm curious. We've gone up to 27 minutes already, which will probably be about a 20-minute video after all the edits that I do. So, next episode, what I'm going to do is I am going to plough quite far on. We have had an international break. We've got an international break because we got, well, it was more than that. We actually got 5. There, look, Ramazani, Admiral, Galbraith, all called up to their squads by the looks of it. Who did they get? A few under 21s. Obita's going as well. So we've cancelled the game against Dandenong Bridge. We're going to get 2 weeks off. I think the issue that I may have going forward over the next sort of like few months is players getting unhappy. That's going to be the thing. So what we are going to look at doing, guys, is really cracking on. I may get to the around 20 game mark. Now I am starting my Fenerbahce, so I've got 3 saves kind of on the go as well. So It all depends on how quickly. Luckily, my new computer absolutely flies. So we will see how I get on. But we'll try and definitely get 10 games in and get into sort of at least a third of the way into the season. And guys, that is it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe. Let me know what you think to the signings that we've made. And we will see you, hopefully, we'll be still top of the league. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching.